Identity. I think the most awkward and confusing and frustrating part of quote-unquote growing up is trying to figure out who exactly you are. Near the end of junior year, I decided to do a project. If you had me in your class that semester, you might remember this. I went to quite a few classes, a mix of the ones I was actually a student in and ones where I didn't know a single person. And I gave everyone a slip of paper and I asked them to write down one word that they thought described me. It didn't matter whether they had known me for years or whether that was the first time they had ever seen me. It didn't matter whether they chose a word based off of my appearance or my personality or my character. It didn't matter whether the word they chose was positive or negative or somewhere in the middle. They just had to be honest. I then collected all of the words and put them in an envelope and didn't read them until I got home that night. I have to say, it was pretty interesting reading through all of the words that I got. There were around 160 cards that I received from students. The funniest and most intriguing part of it all was seeing how many sets of contradictions I got. For example, I was called both outgoing and introverted, genuine and mysterious, serious and crazy, non-talkative and outspoken, confident and nervous, ugly and beautiful. Logic would dictate that I can't be all of those things. Now, all of those words were used in a drama that I wrote, and the central theme to the drama was identity. More specifically, be careful what you put your identity in. I quickly learned that I can't find my identity in what people think of me, because people obviously have no clue. It's not consistent, it's not accurate, and it won't last. But honestly, this can be said about a lot of things. If you find your identity and the ability to perform, whether in sports or music, what happens when you are no longer able to do so? If you find your identity in a relationship, what happens when the two of you break up? If you find your identity in academics, what happens when you fail your first class or you inevitably find someone way smarter than you? Now, don't get me wrong. It's not a bad thing to find yourself in academics, sports, music, art, tech, mechanics, or the likes. However, I would argue that there are better things to be known for and put your identity in. There's something more special about when people see past your outward achievements and are able to describe you as genuine, humble, trustworthy, dependable, or inspiring. That, to me, is so much better than simply being talented or successful. I suppose I have three main points in all of this. The first is that there is so much more to you than what people define you as. Don't get me wrong, success is obviously a good thing, but success comes in so many different forms. The 14th Dalai Lama said this: "The planet does not need more successful people. The planet desperately needs more peacemakers, healers, restorers, storytellers, and lovers of all kind." The second main point is this: remember that there is so much more to you than what people are going to see. You can't rely on other people to validate you. I have a quote on my wall that says, "Don't wait for someone to inspire you. Inspire yourself." Remember that and be true to who you want to be. As we are getting ready to leave this place behind us, I have just one last thing I would like to say on the subject of identity. We add to our identity and leave a part of it behind at every stop on our journey through life. This is especially true for us here at Lee County High School. Each and every one of us has left our mark on the remaining students, teachers, clubs, and organizations that we have had the pleasure of being involved with. Whether we like it or not, this school has changed us, and we have changed the school. So congratulations, class of 2015.